Hello and welcome to a new episode of Ancestral Healing with Alida. Today we are going to talk about our pets. And if you have a pet that is aggressive, if you have a pet that has separation anxiety, if you have a pet that is very sick but is not that old, if you have a pet that has skin problems, rashes, tumors, if you have a pet that pees all over the place, this episode is for you. We are going to begin telling you something. This is a systemic view. And when I say a systemic view, it means that we are going to try to find the connections between what is happening to me and what happened in the past in my family system. And you will say like, how am I going to connect my pet to my family system? Well, have you ever heard a statement that say your pets are family? Yeah, so that's true. Your pet comes with a mission for the family system, for your family system. And you have to have in consideration a few things. First, who chose that pet? How did you get it? And who's the alpha in your family? And basically, these are for pets that are a dog or a cat, okay? And who's the alpha for that dog or for that cat? And you will know that because they will follow mostly to the alpha in the family system. In family constellations, from a perspective that is systemic, so we try to connect things. We say that pets are connected to someone who was excluded in the system. And the exclusion means this. In family constellations, you have three orders. These three orders, if they are okay and they are working harmoniously in the system, then there are no issues. But that never happens, okay? So the first order is the belonging. So everyone belongs. And it belongs the person that did something bad in the family system. It belongs the person that was in a mental clinic or in a mental hospital. It belongs the person who died very early. It belongs the abortion and the miscarriage of a person. It belongs the person that committed a crime. It belongs the person who went to war. It even belongs the person that left the family system physically. The father that left the kids, the mother that left her kids. So all of them belong just by the fact of their own existence. No because of the moral component of what they did was wrong. Because of course, if someone does something that is not correct by society, you probably will judge them, but you know that that soul has a space in that family system. That's a spot. It belongs right there. Like this bamboo tree, if I tell you, look, that leaf doesn't belong to the bamboo tree. Why? Because it's more dry than the other ones. You will say like, no, that leaf, I can see it. It's part of the whole plant, correct? The same with this one. You also need to pay attention about your pets if they are feminine or masculine, if they are male or female. Because if I know that they are representing an excluded member of my family system, if it's male, it will be usually will be representing a male figure, or if it's feminine, it will be a feminine figure. And you have to also see. I don't know if you have ever read this book. My dog knows when I'm coming back home. And the thing is like, because we have a system, if I pull one of these leaves, the whole plant is gonna suffer. The whole plant is gonna be in alert because it's one of the pieces of the whole plant. And because of that, that means that they have an energetic field together. They belong to this morphic field. And Rupert Sheldrake, in that book, My Dog Knows When I'm Coming Back Home, he talks about how we share the same morphic field with our pets. That's, for example, I used to have my pet Bibi. She was a dog, and I'm getting emotional a little bit. And when we moved to Massachusetts from Peru, she got the chance to run around the house because we are living in the country, which we didn't. We were living in the city in Lima, in Peru. So we have a long driveway, and sometimes I would leave. And she was very attached to me. I think that I was her alpha. I was very her alpha. And sometimes I was coming 30 miles away, and I would call my husband and say, like, I'll be back home in 40 minutes, 30 minutes. And at that moment, she would start scratching his leg, like, open the door and let me out. So she will be waiting like this, like a statue. in the front door. But sometimes my husband wasn't here, so she knew that I was coming back, and she would scratch my father-in-law's legs. And sometimes because he's old, he was sleeping, and he said that he would say like, "Baby, just woke me up." She was like crazy. She wanted me to let her out. You were coming back. So they have the same morphic field than you have. And there is something that happened with Vivi that is very interesting. So I had fox terrier, wire fox terriers, since I was 14 years old. And the first one, at that time I was living with my grandmother. And at my grandmother's house, it was living my mom and me, and my aunt and my two cousins. One is Daniel, and the other one is my other cousin Maripi. Daniel got a new girlfriend, and the girlfriend said like, "Look, my parents are like crazy. We have this crazy dog that is destroying the whole house. He's 7 months old. Can you take it?" And he said yes, because I think that he wanted her to be his girlfriend or something. And his name was Loki. And Loki in Spanish, if you translate it, would be loco or loquito, right? Crazy. First, that dog was resonating with his name because they have put that stem of being crazy only with a name, but he was very crazy. So that was our first fox terrier because I was taking care of the dog. But at my school, one day I was leaving school and I saw this father picking up her daughter, and he had two wire fox terriers, and both they were female. So Loki married these two sisters, and we got Lulu and Toby. So at one point we had three dogs. And then Toby got married with another fox terrier, and we got Mika. But when we got Mika, I was 21 years old and I just finished the law school. So Mika was totally mine, right? I wasn't sharing with the family. That Daniel was now living away. I was the only one living in that house, like young. And at that point, Mika was she didn't want people to walk next to her. She wouldn't bark, but if she see people, she would be walking. But if people was too close to her, she would like go like this. Didn't bite, but she was like, and she was mad at other dogs. When I met my husband in 2007, I didn't realize how she was projecting me in her, right? So I told you, I got Mika in 2000. 2000 or 1999? 2000. I was very angry. I was very angry with everything because I was very angry because it was my choice to be angry at my dad. I was angry basically at my dad. I didn't like it that he had another wife and he had another kids. I was angry and it was my choice. So Mika was projecting a lot of that. So in 2009, we got Vivi. This is my dog, the one that was waiting for me here in Massachusetts. Vivi was super sweet, but when I was pregnant with my daughter, she started leaking milk. She knew that I was pregnant, so she started creating milk, producing milk herself. And then when I had my daughter, I had extra milk. I have overproduction of milk. But that's another systemic thing because I had this thing that I need to produce extra because it's never enough. You don't have enough of your mom. Never, right? And I got mastitis, like obstruction, mastitis, and she would get it at the same side on the same breast. So and I got like 8 mastitis. That's a lot. I nursed my daughter for 4 years and a half. So she had periodically the same time that I was having something, she would have it. And so it was very interesting to see how they both were connected to me. So the dog or the pet that you have is connected to your energetic field, the energy of the family. So it's projecting something that you are not paying attention to. So if a dog like Mika was aggressive, it was me, it wasn't her. She was just showing me as a mirror, hey, pay attention to this. And the same Vivi, right? So that's important to know. How is your pet behaving? And if your dog is sick or if your dog has any behavior issues, you have to think like, at one moment I got this dog. Because sometimes there are kids that they say, my daughter is not like that. I think that I was like that. Like some kids say like, Mommy, please, I want to have a pet. They have the necessity to have that member there, right? In the house. It's because they need a place. That excluded member needs to have a place in the family system and somehow needs to be seen. So what we are going to do now is I have this basket and I have different pet dolls and I use them in my sessions. So if you have a dog or you have a pet, if they are sick or if they are not sick or you just want to see what information they have, to show you in your family system. We're gonna do a dynamic. So this is gonna, you don't have to, please, you do not close your eyes when we are doing this. I'm gonna bring this so it's higher, it's taller for you to see. You do not close your eyes, you only pay attention to your physical sensations. That's the way that we're gonna do a family constellation session. So now I have this space, right? I have this. And now I'm gonna start moving. I'm not gonna tell you what I'm doing. So I have this one. I brought this one. This one doesn't have a face, correct? Okay. And I'm gonna take a second one, okay? I have another one. So now I'm gonna start moving them and I'm gonna put them like this. Do you see? This one is facing this way and this one doesn't have a face. So now I want you to inhale and I want you to exhale and I'm gonna put my finger here and I want you to start feeling the sensations in your body. If there is tingling, if you have any contraction, any sensations in your muscles, if you feel relaxed, if you feel tense, if you feel cooler, if you feel warmer. Stay there for a couple more seconds. I want you to try to remember all of these sensations after we move to the second part. So now I'm going to use my other hand. I want you to inhale and exhale, and I want you to again feel the sensations in your body. Feel how your air is coming in and the air is coming out. Pay attention to your toes, your legs, your hips, in between your ribs, your breast or your chest, your back, your shoulders, your neck, your face, and your head. So now I'm gonna tell you something. What happened here? This I brought to represent my pet Vivi, right? This is gonna represent your pet. And this is gonna represent you because you are watching this and you are connecting somehow also to my field. This is very interesting because I'm talking to you about excluding people in the family system. And when I asked, I want to bring Vivi to see what if she was representing an excluded member, she was representing an excluded member. You know why? Because she came without face. And I only have 2 of these pectorals without a face. And the pectoral that doesn't have a face is because you cannot see them. They are excluded. So effectively, and I am sure 100% that my dog was representing an excluded member. Now, when I touch this pectoral, I start feeling a little bit of anxious and my face start feeling a little bit of tingling. Now, the other thing is she's towards my left side. So probably, first, she was a female. Second, that she's toward my left side, also female, right? The maternal lineage also. So if you are watching this and you are connecting with this information right now, probably your dog, even if he was male, he was connecting to something in the maternal lineage. And pay attention to the sensations that you had when you were doing this dynamic with this pet doll. Why? Because that's the way that your dog or your pet was feeling or is feeling right now. Now we're gonna move to this one. If you see this one, because I made it, this is a girl in a gown, like an angel or something. And she's not looking at this, she's looking to this side, but she's on the right side. So that's me. But guess what? This one is a little bit far away, towards the camera. So that means that it's in front of this one, right? That's me. Again, it's giving information that this pet belongs to the past because it's behind me. And everyone that is behind you are your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, etc., etc., etc. But when I touched this one, I had immediately pain on my upper scapula on the left side. So that's the way that she was trying to take from me, because everything that happened on your shoulders or back is weight that you are unconsciously are taking from your family system. So now that we have this, we are going to do the healing statements. So I'm going to hold myself. That's going to be you. Another thing is this, that she's facing towards the left. So everything is happening here towards the left side of the system, right? So this is going to be very simple, and you can say it too out loud, or you can say it in your mind, and you can add more healing statements if you feel like doing it. I see you that you came with a mission to balance our family system, and I'm grateful for that. You represented someone that I couldn't see before. But now I can see you. I see you and see all of my family members. We all belong. Now we are in balance. And I can look at my present. So this is the way that you do a family constellations. Of course, that this is an example of what we are doing, but it's very interesting for me to see that Vivi, at least my dog, came with this one because it's excluded. I am facing towards the left, which I know my limitations and the stories and the burdens that I've been carrying from my maternal lineage. The left side is not only the maternal, it's the mothers of the system. The mothers, your dad's mother, your grandfather's mother, all of those are mothers, right? They belong to your masculine system, to your father system, but they still belong. So that's a way that you do a family constellations, and that way you can also see why is your dog or your pet sick, what is behind, and you can even constellate the illness of someone, no because they are gonna get healed, although some people get healed, is because you bring balance, because the illness is showing you an imbalance in a systemic view, an imbalance in your energetic field, an imbalance in your electromagnetic field, and an imbalance in your physical body. So doing family constellations, you can see the imbalance in your energetic field and in your systemic field, right? Your in the systemic field, in your knowing field. So this is all for today, and I hope that you enjoy it. I'm currently having 30% off in any sessions online or in person, and you just use the coupon code birthday. Go to my website, iamama.org, or follow me on Instagram, iamama Alida, or in Facebook. Thank you.